2024 World Junior Hockey Championship. First up, the bronze medal game between Czechia and Finland. They've met one bronze medal game before. It was 20 years ago in Helsinki. The Finns won it by a score of 2-1. Referees are Tobias Bjork of Sweden, Troy Murray of Regina, Saskatchewan, Anders Nyquist of Sweden, and Lucas Rampir of Czechia. So a Czech gets to work the bronze medal game between the Finns and the Czechs. They've been trying to work it into the rotation over the years. Nicholas Koko has a 1-3 record, allowed 3 goals on 30 shots in the loss to the United States yesterday. And Miha Hlabal has played every minute of every game for Czechia. Struggled in the loss yesterday to Sweden, allowed 5 goals on 31 shots. Lauri Mikkola, the head coach of the Finnish team, his first year behind the bench as their national junior team head coach. And Petr Kagusta, his first year as the head coach of the Czech national junior team. They made the semifinals for the 3rd consecutive year, first time in a quarter century they've done that. Last year, the Czechs won their first medal in 18 years at the juniors. Troy Murray, the son of longtime NHL scout Al Murray, and his dad doing as much scouting of the officials here as he was of players while he was here. But he's earned a spot on the final lane. That's a big thrill for the officials as well.
Okay, guys, no pressure today. Just a chance to be great. Sticks down.
That's all.
There you go.
Go get him.
That lead pass from Kulik missed it right away. An icing call against the Czechs. The Finns opened with a pair of losses to Canada and Germany, then reeled off 3 straight wins before the narrow loss yesterday. James Duthie mentioned it. The Finns had the 2-0 lead. It was 2-2 in the 3rd. They were right on the doorstep of taking down really the top team in the tournament.
Does that make this game easier or harder to play?
That's the question. And that's
now, historically.
a long shot that bounced around in front.
These two countries play hard for bronze.
Yeah, they do.
Which is a testament to that.
Well, a medal means a lot. And I think if you ask anyone who's played in a bronze medal game.
Like me?
It means more
later.
Years later than it might at the time.
Yep.
Now a centering pass and a backhand shot rolled wide there by Edward Chalet. And the Czechs have put together the 3 veterans, Chalet, Kulik, and Shapovalov, for this bronze medal game. All 3 playing in the 3rd World Junior Tournament.
Perfect start for Czechia. Chalet rolled off the stick.
Chalet's actually playing in his 2nd, returning from last year. The Czechs bring back 5 from last year's silver medal team. 7 can return for them next year, including a defenseman who got hurt in the first game. Adam Jiricek suffered a knee injury that will end his season. The same thing happened to his brother 2 years ago. Now it's still in the offensive zone by Sebastian Redlick, and that's knocked wide. David Jiricek was able to return in time for the World Championship, was drafted in the 1st round by the Columbus Blue Jackets. And the Czechs will be the host nation for the upcoming Men's World Championship in Prague and Ostrava in May. Kiniemi goes back, plays that back around for Otto Salin. Salin up ahead for Keskinen. That's stripped away, and the puck moved ahead by Andre Becker. And that shot by Stansel, who famously scored twice in that game against Canada in the quarterfinals, has it go off his stick and up and out of play.
Czechia has come out just a little bit crisper than Finland to start this game, getting the one really good chance. Chalet's got it in a wide open net. Koko comes flying out. He misses it. I mean, he could have just skated that into the empty net. Didn't have to shoot it. Could have just stick handled it. He elected to try to elevate. And it's good that he can smile on that miss. He can't believe it.
Last year's bronze medal game was pretty entertaining. An 8-7 shootout between the United States and Sweden, a figurative shootout. The game went to overtime, and the U.S. won it. Did not get to penalty shots. Manisto winds in. Tommy Manisto go back to college after this tournament, playing at Michigan State University. That's bounced down, and Koko makes the stop on that.
So Patrick Augusta tries to get his team motivated. But I think the return to form for Czechia in general in this tournament is a welcome addition to the landscape of hockey. For the better part of 15 years, they weren't near the top 5 countries. The fact that they're getting back close to it again is a good sign for hockey in general.
That long point shot taken by Alscher is punched away by Koko. Koko started the first 2 games for the Finns, then sat the next 3, and then returned to the Czech lineup, or the Finn lineup, rather.
Yeah, it's been I mean, the loss to Canada was okay. He looked shaky in the loss to Germany, and that what caused him to lose the net.
Right.
But then when they get to the elimination games, they turn right back to him. His replacement, Noah Valley, didn't quite seize the moment.
Koko's a Seattle second-round pick. The Kraken have 5 players in the medal round of this tournament. A long shot deflected wide. We mentioned the Czech, their program returning 8 drafted on this Czech roster, 2 first-round picks. As Kupalainen works in, drops it in the high slot. That shot fired wide by Kulonumi. Adam Zidlichki, son of longtime NHLer Marek Zidlichki, got squeezed along the boards by Kupalainen. Now set back up by Jesse Pulkkinen,
who has been a treat to watch all tournament long.
High risk, high reward kind of guy.
It is never dull with him on the ice. Nokarina moves out ahead. That's swept away by Hrabal. Yuri Lasila, the captain, plays that back to Weisen. Long shot, hit a leg in front and bounced wide. Alice check. Up ahead for Shapovalov for Kulik. Working with Chalet, that's fired back in by Sobolka. Kulik will go back to Rochester of the American Hockey League when the tournament's over. Made his NHL debut in November with the Buffalo Sabres. He has been a prolific goal scorer in the American League for 2 years.
40 goals in 85 AHL games for a teenager. That is incredible production.
Shapovalov trying to dig that free. Kulik knocks it down. Plays that back at a long shot. Taken there by Czech, deflected wide. In behind the goal is Kalle Kangas. Plays for Jokerit in Finland's Mestis, or second league. And Jokerit returned to Finnish hockey after leaving the KHL, but is not yet in the top Finnish league, the showcase franchise in Helsinki. And their arena, which is owned by a Russian, has remained largely empty since the Russians invaded Ukraine. There is talk of a new arena being built in Helsinki for both IFK and Jokerit, which would be completely underground.
Okay. I'm talking to the folks out in Seattle. Trying to get one of those lower ground level rinks going.
Pass that's whistled wide by Redling. Well, the problem in Helsinki is there's not a lot of available real estate in an old city like that, but they would actually build it under where IFK Helsinki's current rink is.
I'm not an engineer. That sounds hard.
Well, let's see. It's a seaport made mostly of rock. Yes, I don't think you have to be an engineer to figure out how difficult that might be.
What could go wrong?
Bumped along by Alscher.
Skate, no foul, no foul!
Manisto. Back for Karki. That pass went off a skate and bounces back. Last year, the Finns did not win a medal at the Men's World Championship, the World Junior, or the Under-18. First time since 2012 they finished top 3 in at least one of those events. They won 3 gold medals the last 10 years here, as Koko gloves that and hangs on.
Yeah, that's more a sign of a great run for Finland than it is a systemic problem. Although countries, when they go through a drought like that, which to them would feel like a drought, want to overreact. But the last 5 years, they've picked up every kind of medal there is, as well as a 4th and a 5th. For their country, that's probably appropriate. That's good finishes. It's hard to medal these tournaments. They've just been really good for a long time.
And it's single elimination. It's really difficult to judge your program based on. I mean, last year they lost in the quarterfinals to Sweden. They gave up a shorthanded goal with a minute to go in the 3rd period. Zidlichki along the boards with it. Kulonumi bumps out ahead. And now brought up by Samu Bao. Up for Kupalainen, who scored yesterday against the United States. Rasmus Kupalainen will go back to Oshawa, the OHL, when he goes back. 12 of these Czechs play in the Canadian Hockey League. As Kupalainen walks in and fires, scores! Kupalainen has goals in back-to-back games, and the Finns have a 1-0 lead.
Kupalainen heating up at the end of the tournament. Pretty good offensive player playing for Oshawa in the OHL. And a good forecheck, pin the puck off the wall, and then walks the seam, little pick. And unfortunately, we have seen this before for Ravel. He has been victimized on the glove side all tournament long. And another one that doesn't go above his glove, but he's misreading it off the stick. He's got his glove above where this puck ends up going, right underneath him. And again, he's not particularly close to it when it goes by him. And Finland jumps out to the early lead.
So Kupalainen hadn't scored. Didn't have a point until that game yesterday. And you mentioned 14 goals in 27 games with the Oshawa Generals. He's a second-round pick of Minnesota. That shot by Hamanaho was blocked and moved up by Galvis. Galvis was added to the Czech roster when Jiricek got hurt. A bit of a different roster alignment this year. 20 skaters, 3 goaltenders. You could replace players, but once they were replaced, they could not return. So there were no healthy scratches. Some teams did keep extra players around, like the Czechs and the Finns. So the United States. Perchik plays that back in. Czechs also lost Robin Sapacek in their last round-robin game against the Swiss.
The alternative is if you're like Canada, you lose players, you're flying them over.
Canada didn't bring extra players because they don't want to hold out players from their major junior teams for a month and have them not play. Kaskamaki works it. He shoots. And tried Rabel there, just missed.
I mean, the numbers don't lie. Glove has been the spot to go on Rabel. Finland would know that. That would be something in a pre-scout that they would be told. Sweden knew it yesterday, and they capitalized a couple times.
Newman plays that back. Vaisinen looks ahead, but Hamar goes back. He got blasted into the inboards there by Pulkinen. And now a chance for Newman. Shoots, scores! And Newman slides it by Rabel. 2-0 the Finns lead. Less than 8 minutes in.
Keep an eye on the bench for Czechia.
Yeah,
I think that's it.
We're going to have a goaltending change for the Czechs.
Rabel, who's played every second of every game, is going to get pulled for Vondras as Finland goes up 2. There's our boy Pulkinen in on the forecheck behind the net, as he goes sometimes. And a cycle roll. Good job by Pulkinen. Turns it over. And then Kaskamaki finds Newman sliding in the hole that Pulkinen had vacated. And he goes short side. Nice screen by Hellenius. And Rabel can't find it through the bodies. Goes short side post and in. And after 7 minutes, 43 seconds, 2 goals. Hell Rabel onto the bench.
And Jakob Vondras comes in, plays for Sudbury of the OHL. He's a Carolina 6th-round pick. He has not played a meaningful game in nearly a month. As you mentioned, Rabel played every game, and it's fired wide by Manisto.
So get in there and shut the door.
Rabel, by the way, is 18, eligible to return next year for the Czechs. He plays at UMass. He's having a pretty good year there, but a tough last couple games for him. No penalty coming. Going against the Czechs. Keskinen drops it off to Karki. Fires that wide. And here's Newman back with it. Extra skaters on for the Finns as Karki bumps it around. And finally touched up, and with 11:35 to go in the first period, the Finns have grabbed a 2-0 lead and are going to the power play.
Finland up 2-0 already and headed to the power play as Czech gets caught on the hold. Clearly loses body position. Haltinen keeps his feet moving, takes him down, and it's been a tough start for Czechia. And you're wondering, can they come back from 3 down? They're getting to the point where it's just about it. And you know, when you see the face of Hell Rabel on the bench, your heart, you know, you're reminded how young these players are, how much it means to them, And you hate seeing somebody have a tournament end on a bad note who had an otherwise solid event.
Finns are 5 for 19 on the power play. Kasper Hultinen leads the way with a couple of power play goals. Fed back to Karki. Drops that back in the high slot. Poked ahead by Kaskamäki, but the Finns can't hold the line. Hultinen not out there now for the Finns. Leads the Ontario League with 12 power play goals this year, playing for the London Knights. And now Karki. He was 1-on-4, drops it back. Kaskamäki works in. Palainen chips that back for Newman. And Newman trying to work that puck free. Shapovalov took it away. And it's held now by Kaskamäki. Slapped down the ice by Hamara. And Hultinen steps on. Karki. A minute to go on the power play. Drops this off to Hamanaho. Who began the tournament getting robbed by Canada's Matisse Rousseau with a 5-star save that might still be the save of the tournament. The first period of the first day. Nunui. Back down to Keskinen. Keskinen works in, feeds that down to Lassila. The captain back to Keskinen. Feeds that back to Kulanumi. For Keskinen. Back to Kulanumi. Feeds it across, and a hard shot. There's what Hultinen does. He ripped it on goal, and the save made by Vondrag. Lassila. Back for Keskinen. Kept alive for Hultinen. Hultinen a little shaken big. Works in and shoots. Vondrag the save, and the rebound cleared away by Saboka. Hamanaho plays it across. Final second of the power play. Kulanumi works in, has a look, drops it back to Keskinen. Keskinen for Hamanaho, back to Keskinen. Hultinen got bumped by Czech, who was coming out of the penalty box. 2 shots on that power play. And now gathered back up by Lassila. Lassila feeds that back. Kulanumi shoots, that deflected in front, swatted away by Vondrag. Hultinen works back in, tried to center it, that was knocked away by Czech. And Pokinen plays it back across to Kulanumi. Off the bench comes Manisto, and Tommy Manisto drops it back. Sabobao fed back across, and Kulanumi couldn't connect on that. Kulanumi's been out there for about 3 minutes. That's slammed down there by Becker. And Czech brings it back out. Pokinen chips that back in. How many times has Pokinen, the defenseman, the lead man on the forecheck for the Spins?
He's that new age hockey, positionless.
Yes. I got news for you. Old school hockey coaches don't necessarily love that.
Total hockey, we're calling it.
Are we? Okay.
Yes.
Newman walks and puts that wide. Johan Cruyff's influence is being felt.
Well done, Joe. You knew what I was talking about.
Yeah, the great Dutch soccer legend as a player and a coach, but I'm not sure total hockey's quite taken off with NHL coaches just yet. Pokinen's undrafted. He can really shoot it. Kaskamäki moves to the head.
The stuff he does well, he does well.
That's
the other stuff that's the issue.
That might be the faintest praise I've ever heard. Alsher moves to the head and fires that down. That bounced around in front of the Finnish bench. 7.5 to go here in the first period. Still to come tonight, Sweden and the United States for the gold medal.
That is going to be an event.
Here in Gothenburg, it'll be spectacular. Nokarinen works in, chips that towards the goal. Nokarinen gets a shot away and knocked away by Vondrag. Nokarinen back on it. He's on the top line for the Finns, has 2 assists in the tournament.
Support player, your speed gets it on the forecheck, tries to get the puck back to the line mates who have generated the points.
Lassila works in, winds back. Lassila bumps that back from Pieniniemi. Now Pieniniemi works in. Now quick shot by Hultinen is blocked. Hultinen gathers it back up. Hoping one of 8 Finns who can return next year as Keskinen comes in and shoots at hit the crossbar. This has been all Finland here in the first period. I can't remember the last time the puck was on the other end. Salis shakes his man, walks right back in front. Haltonen couldn't connect on the rebound. Now the goal stick of Vondrach is over in the corner.
Someone's got to get it for him. He can't get that far of the net to get it because...
And 2 of his teammates skated by to get off the ice. Like Sporto stepped over it.
Oh my... Now I don't want to whistle. I want to see how long this goes for.
Keskinen comes in. You love chaos.
There it is. Getting involved in the poke check.
Koskaperti moves past that stick. And once again, the Czechs head up the ice without helping their goaltender. And Manisto with the steal. Works in. Manisto, great move. Got poke checked in the last second by Olscher. Foul back on it. The puck squeezed by Karki. Reaches for it now. Redlick with it.
Vondrach is yelling at his teammates. Finally, somebody.
Galvas comes on and hands it to him. Kupalainen shoots. Czechs had the first 3 shots in this game. They've had nothing in the last 13 minutes. Kulik winds it and shoots. And finally they get one. And it's turned away by Koko. Finns up 2-0. Come close to making it 3 here in the first period.
New goalie in for the Czech, Jakub Vondrach, a Carolina 6th rounder from a couple of years ago. We're introducing him because he hasn't played a second prior to this. He gets put in after the second goal, and he gets absolutely peppered for about 10 minutes straight as it's been all Finland. And he made some saves, he got some help from a crossbar, and I guess he's into the game now.
Off the draw, Cooley plays that back for Galvas. Pulkkinen digging forward along the board. Pulkkinen a late December birthday, so not eligible to return next year. Shapovalov tries to play that around. Next year's tournament will be open to players born in 2005 or later. Galvas plays that back. Now centered by Perchik, and that bounced away. So next year's World Junior, Mike, will be 20 years after that great Canadian team, Crosby, Bergeron, Weber, Phaneuf, won the gold medal. Unless they were born in the first 5 days of 2005, no one playing in that tournament will have been born when that happened. Galvas works it and shoots. That's gloved by Koko.
It goes quick.
Yeah, you tell me.
And yet
you're telling me.
And yet Sid is still playing.
Yeah.
Just made another All-Star game announced yesterday. And they would have watched you and listened to you and that game for years. And I've seen all the highlights of the last 20 years. I mean, it's amazing what the familiarity.
Jeff Carter still playing?
Jeff Carter still playing, yeah. Familiarity these kids have with the history of this tournament, even though they're so young, they obviously wouldn't remember some of these moments, but they are familiar with them. Everyone thought there was going to be a break there, but...
By the way, the United States announcing yesterday that the 50th World Junior Championship will take place in St. Paul in Minneapolis, Minnesota. At XL Energy Center in St. Paul and Mariucci Arena, the home of the Minnesota Golden Gophers of the NCAA.
Which is a fantastic rink as well.
Never been.
Played there in college, actually.
How'd you do?
We lost to Minnesota. Brian Bonin and Mike Crowley ate us up. They were very good college players, both of them. But it was a fun rink.
So were you.
I was good too, but yeah, not as good as those guys. Not in that game anyways.
That'll be great. It's obviously a hockey hotbed in the United States. Next year's in Ottawa, then the U.S., and then Canada's got it back in 27. Location yet to be announced. And quite likely Finland in 28. Hasn't been decided yet, but looks like it's heading to Finland in 28. Woo! Penalty coming. Newman goes back. And the Czechs are going to power play thanks to a late tripping call against Finland with 3:51 to go in the first.
Czechia trying to get back into the game where they've been dominating the first period. Go to a late power play. Pieniemi gets his stick caught up in the legs of Badish and takes him down in a power play. Has been pretty good. 38%.
Yeah.
On the tournament, goes to work, and they could salvage this period, which has not been good, with a goal here.
Shapovalov, who's going to take the face-off, leads the Czechs with 2 power play goals. Hamara. Takes that back. Now sharp angle shot. Kulich scores, and there's what he does. You talked about it off the top of the show. Kulich, a one-timer, and 8 seconds into the power play. The Czechs are back within 1.
Exactly what they needed, and maybe the guy they needed to do it. Again, Kulich off and running. If you've read the scouting report against Czechia, you have to take the seam pass away. You've got to make it go up and over. You can't let that one go through. Now that's a really, really good pass. Milavsky, who's got a point in every game, slides it through, and a tremendous shot. Short side, right along the post, get above the pad. But you can't let that puck go through the ice. If it's going to try to go through there, you have to make it be a sauce. You got to try to make it harder than that. Poor read by the PK on Finland, and Kulich makes them pay quickly.
So Jiri Kulich has his 5th of the tournament. That's his 14th in 23 games in 3 World Juniors.
Well, I'm in the all-time ranks for Czechia.
15 goals in 21 games this year in the American Hockey League for Rochester. The first round pick of the Sabres in 2022. They got that pick from Florida as part of the Sam Reinhart deal. The sign of the goal that's shoveled away by Coco. So despite being outplayed badly here, the Czechs are right back in it. Chalet moves out ahead for Redley. Redley, who plays for Södertälje here in Sweden. Only 5 of the Czechs play in Czechia. Moved across the line for Hulton, and the play's offside. Line the play. Pulkkinen's got someone stick tied up his equipment.
So Kulich, the captain, gets the goal, gets Czechia back into it, doing what he does, but the very next shift he gets bumped into sort of innocently by Nisto and maybe Charlie Horsish. Knee on knee, oh there you go, like a little knee on knee, little tweak.
Ouch.
Young players though, they're very limber. I'd expect him to be okay. It always brings into question when someone who's a little nicked up, when do the NHL teams or their club teams step in and say, hang on, maybe he doesn't play anymore.
Wolves back to check with a shot that deflects over the glass and out.
Staying on the bench, doesn't look to be in too much discomfort. And here's the all-time goal list, including Czechoslovakia, which had some pretty prolific teams. So one more to catch Michael Bavanka. 3 times through, and he's been more than a point-a-game player in every single World Junior tournament he's played, even 2 years ago in his first attempt.
Vladimir Ruzicka, by the way, is 2nd all-time in goals at the World Junior, trailing only Pavel Bure, who scored 27 in 21 games. Off the draw, that's hammered towards the goal and dribbles wide. Marcus Naslund 3rd, Alexander McGildy 4th.
Connor Bedard played in a couple more. He might have been able to push that number.
100%. That was a different. Those records were set when the tournament was a straight round robin. You played the other 7. You played the other 7 teams once each. And now, whoever the best record.
Somehow that feels like it would be easier to pile up points because you wouldn't play the good teams a second time.
Right, and you'd also get, for example, Naslund played a game against Japan. So I mean, it's.
Marcus Naslund at Gord Miller.
No, I'm just saying. Marcus was a great player.
Absolutely.
But certainly
when you get France and you get Japan and these kind of tournaments where you put up 10, 15, 18 goals.
And the other thing is, for a long time, the tournament had a format where the top team in each group got a bye. So top teams only played 6 games as opposed to 7. So, okay, 27 and 21 for Bure is a great number. Pulkkinen goes back, being watched by Chalet. And Pulkkinen pokes out ahead for Newman. Yanni Newman, a Seattle second-round pick.
Has impressed in this tournament. I've liked his game. He's been good.
He looks like a pro, doesn't he? He looks
Yeah.
like,
Might have to skate a little bit lighter on the ice, but other than that.
and he comes and shoots, and that's knocked away by Vondrach. Final minute now of the period. Galvis is draft eligible, plays out ahead for Chalet. And rink wide he goes for Kulik, back out there for the Czechs. He's still kind of limping noticeably as he goes off. He looks a little tender as he leaves the ice.
Saw a tweak there. He doesn't want to leave the game. He'll get checked out in intermission. Get a better sense of where he's at.
Kaskinen chips that back. Yemi looks ahead to Manisto. He ran into Perchik. And Galvis has it back as the time winds down here in the period. Train wreck at center ice. Manisto got tangled up there with Redlich. And time expires here in the opening period. You know, Redlich has shaken up. Finns had their way in the early going, scored twice. But the Czech late power play goal have drawn back within one. It's the bronze medal game of the 2024 World Junior Hockey Championship. Our first intermission is coming right. Two quick goals, a minute and a half apart, gave the Finns a 2-0 lead. Chased Michal Rabel from the Czech goal, but Jiri Kulik comes back late in the period. The power play goal. It's a 2-1 game after 20 minutes. We're coming back with Mike Johnson. A one-goal game. The shots were even. It doesn't feel like that, though, does it?
No, and I think if Finland looks back and they don't win the bronze medal in this game, they will regret the 10-minute mark when they got Rabel out of the net. They got Vondrach in, and they had the puck in the offensive zone the entire time and had several good looks and were unable to push it to a 3-0 lead, which almost would have felt like ball game. And Vondrach settled things in net, got a couple breaks, a couple missed opportunities, and then this power play goal late. You're exactly right. Czechia will be delighted to only be down one after that period, and Finland would almost be disappointed to not be further in front and more in control. And good news for Czechia, as Kulik, we saw him favoring his leg at the end of the first period. He's out to start the second.
Well, 13.5 minutes without a shot for the Czechs at one point in that period. But then Kulik comes out with a lightning strike to cut the lead to one.
Sometimes you need guys who can shoot the puck past the goalie. I mean, really.
No, it's true.
And it's a unique skill he has.
Lasila plays out ahead, and that hard shot by Nokarinen ticks off the post and goes up and out of play.
Finland going to try to turn it back around and start the period, and Kulik would have got checked over. You know, when you get a kind of bump like that, generally you probably drop the shin pad, the doctor would come in, check out your knee, make sure it's moving, everything's okay. It's a bruise, whatever. You're at no further risk to injure yourself. If that's the case, you get to go back out and play again.
His last World Junior game for Czechia. Might see him at the World Championship in Prague in May.
You know what? That's a very good point. He's certainly capable enough, and you don't know when the Sabres are not going to make the playoffs. Rochester, I'm not sure what they're going to end up doing, but he should be available, and if he is, he's very likely going to be there.
And under the agreement, if your NHL team is out, the World Championship takes precedence over the American League.
Over the AHL playoffs.
Yeah. So if you
want to go.
Volkinen shoots, he hammered that high. Correct.
Volkinen. I like it. They're being very liberal with the icing calls, or waving them off here all tournament long. That puck was near nobody. Wave it off.
You want more icing?
No, I'm okay with it. It's just,
okay, just checking.
Internationally, usually it's the tightest of standards for icing, and this tournament it seems to have gone the other way.
Barek moves in. He got bumped off the top line for this game. Here's Barek. Back to Czech. Now Czech plays it across, but the puck got away from Sobolka, who has goals in back-to-back games and important ones against Canada and Sweden. Kulanumi drops it off. And a shot by Helenius, kicked out by Vondrage. Centering pass, Newman with a point-blank shot, 2 whacks at the rebound, and Vondrage turns those away. Now Helenius pivots back. Comes to Helenius. Highly touted drop eligible prospect, plays that for Newman, and he's stopped again point-blank by Vondrage. Newman fires again, he hammered that wide. That might be the world junior record for scoring chances in 20 seconds.
Just got 4 shots on net in the process. He'll get credit for 1.
And Isto bumped hard by Sobotka, but stays on it. Plays that back for Sally, but that pass draws Pianemi out. And now Barash with a chance. Plays it back across. And that centering pass for Beja. Skipped away. Coco rings it back around. That's knocked down. Played back in by Stanson. Galvas moves up. And Keskinen took that away from him. Wherever Keskinen, in the footsteps of his uncle Esa, who was one of Finland's top all-time point getters at the World Junior Championship. He's 2nd overall on their list. Played back in the 1985 tournament. Wendell Clark led Canada to a gold medal in Helsinki.
As a defenseman?
Both.
Swingman. Played
defense and forward in that tournament. And scored the goal on Dominik Hasek in the 3rd period that clinched the tie. And that cinched the gold medal for Canada in the old round-robin format.
Clark
was a defenseman for the Saskatoon Blades. The head coach, I believe Dave King, wanted to play the wing as well. So as Gary Roberts points out, he was cut from that team to make room for a guy who'd never played the position.
Well, they both turned out to be pretty good pros.
The old format was interesting. I mean, you didn't get a true gold medal game. Every once in a while you get, the last game would decide it like it did in Saskatoon in '91, but every game was so big because one loss could not get a gold medal contention.
And you lose control of your own destiny.
Right. There's Karki winding in. Karki spins and shoots. And the stop made by Vondrage.
Finland comes right back out in the offensive zone, and Newman, who has been really good this tournament, gets several looks. He's trying to pull this puck glove side upstairs. First one didn't get all the way up. Second one didn't get it all the way up. It's the exact same shot from the exact same spot. And he's not pleased with that. And there's room over the glove of Vondrage, who, as an adjustment, does catch the wrong way with his right hand, as opposed to the traditional left hand.
It's not the wrong way, it's the other way that most goaltenders employ. About 10% of goalies catch right-handed. And you insist on calling it wrong. Even though your father, I believe, is left-handed.
That is correct. Good memory, yes.
Yeah, so really, do you want to tell your dad he writes with his wrong hand?
If he was playing goalie, I would.
So stubborn. It is unusual, though. I mean, 20% of the population roughly is left-handed.
You got to power up between games, in the middle of games sometimes. Just Salin, just having a banana, just killing it between shifts.
I don't know if I've seen
like tennis players do it.
I've seen protein bars sometimes.
But I'm just saying, intermission was 3 minutes ago. You could have had all the bananas you wanted.
Maybe forgot.
Did you get a hankering in the last 3 minutes? I'm hungry, or I'm cramping up, or whatever. That is unusual.
Newman moves up, plays that back in the corner. Newman sends it back in front just for Helenius for that pass. Here's poking it back to Helenius. Tipped wide by Newman. Danny Newman plays for Ilves Tampere. And Kaskamaki sends it back in front. Helenius looked back for Newman. That pass skipped away from him, and Newman throws it back. Kaskamaki works that back in the point. Kulanumi, a long shot. That's not by Vondrage, and Kulik is into it with Kulanumi.
Yeah, Finland's just been a little bit stronger physically. Look at that reverse hit. Kaskamäki straightens up his check, knocks him right down. Hamara to create a little chaos down in the front of the net.
Shots are 7-0 Finland here in the second period, but it remains a 2-1 game.
Andrash, give him credit. He stepped in and has been rock solid.
Came in goal. We mentioned he had not played a meaningful game since he left Sudbury in early December.
Right. You think about that. It's a month since he's played a pressure-packed game.
Would have played in the pre-tournament for the Czechs, but
drops right into a medal game.
Long shot handled as that was taken by Maciej Malowski, who has quietly, as you mentioned, had a point in every game for Czechia.
He's a distributor. We heard it from him between periods, and recognizing that Czechia didn't play well to start the game. They got the power play goal, but they need to skate, they need to make plays, they need to get on their toes, which they really haven't done to start this period either.
We'll go back to Bay Como of the Quebec Maritime Junior Hockey League.
I think are the #1 ranked team in the CHL right now.
Beautiful part of Quebec. Nice, it was hammered there by Jakob Hoyer, who dresses for games but rarely plays.
Hoyer's on the ice?
Yes.
That is noteworthy because he has had multiple games where he hasn't seen one shift.
He was a decoy, just sat on the bench and rest.
Yeah. Savolka's not been that guy. He played a lot. Important defenseman for Czechia.
Oh, we got some issues with the glass here. Stanchion fell off. Stanchion binder fell off.
You know what? Credit to the ice crew here. I haven't heard any complaints.
No.
Haven't seen anything noteworthy. They've been playing 2 games basically every day. 3 on, it was on Tuesday.
Yeah, it's an older building, but it got cold here the last few days. That really helped. The rig got both of us have been walking a little bit, but yeah, it turned decidedly colder here the last few days, which has helped the ice a lot. You mentioned this building doesn't have the outer ring around the bowl like most new buildings do to keep the cold in. It's a nice building though. Savolka plays it back across. Check shoots. They keep talking about a new one here. It never happens.
Better for the hockey would be if the fans were right on the glass.
Yes. Oh, he thought about it. Yeah. Rimon was looking at the Michigan, or the spatula as you call it when you scoop it. Mike Legg doesn't get enough credit for it. Calling it the Michigan is an insult to Mike Legg, who was the guy that did it at Michigan.
When I was in school playing against Slager.
In comes Benicio. Leaves it back low for foul. That was knocked away by Beja.
Look out. Right up there.
Stancil collides there with Pierre-Niemi. And now brought out by Otto Salin. LA 5th round pick, moves it ahead for Koskapirti. Back at the point, Pierre-Niemi. Moves that back across. And Kupalainen can't hold it for the Finns. We've had multiple chances in this game, but haven't been able to get that third one. 2-1 to score here in the second period of the bronze medal game in Gothenburg. One thing about this World Junior Championship has been the ice crew. It's comprised of young players from Gothenburg under 16 and under 14 teams. Get a chance to be part of the World Junior Championship. Make sure our net cams are nice and tidy.
And they also get changed in our hallway, get their skates on and stuff. And so we see how they get fueled for their time on the ice. And yes, it's a bushel of bananas.
Yes.
That you...
Oh, you can't do this.
That you have maybe made a withdrawal or 2 from to help you power up through the long days.
I can't believe you just busted me like that.
You take the bananas, I take the chocolate bars.
Oh, no, you don't. I might have, there's a large bunch there. They're not going to eat them all, so not like they're native to Gothenburg. They're not easy to find.
It's a specialty item.
Ooh, Shapovalov dumped there by Salin. It's going to be a penalty to Finland.
Interference, perhaps?
So penalty Coming to the Finns as Hamanaho touches up. They're going to call interference on Salin. Tobias Bjork makes the call.
Team Finland number 3, 2 minutes interference.
That's because Shapovalov never touched the puck.
Right.
The puck was in behind him. He was looking for it, and Salin elected to finish his check anyways.
Well, and this is how the Czechs got back in the game. The power play goal by Kulik, which came just seconds into their first power play.
So what have we learned, Gord, about the Czech power play if you're going to kill penalties for Finland?
Is this going to be on the test?
It's going. Well,
Okay,
if you're
so-
killing penalties, it's going to be better.
Don't give up the seam pass for the one-timer to Kulik.
That's it. If he's going to shoot it, make it go up and around the umbrella. Don't let it go through. Through is trouble.
Okay.
You're ready to coach the power play or the penalty kill.
Shapovalov for the face-off against Bau. A game that has been very one-sided in terms of territorial play for the Finns, but remains a one-goal game. Back at the point, Hamara feeds it across. Milovsky has a look and shoots. And a stop made by Koko. The rebound sent down the ice by Bau.
Every now and then when a penalty kill knows you want to get it to one player, somebody else has to take a shot just to soften up, keep the penalty killers honest.
That was the story in Washington for a long time, right? TJ Oshie, John Carlson, they're all legit threats. Kulik back for Hamara. Kulik on this side of the ice now. Try to play back for Hamara, get tied up there by Lassila, and Lassila chips it out. Lassila's back and forth. And no Karina, they both go hard to the corner, and they both get up. Beher winds in, drops it back. In comes Stenzel, the shot scores! It dribbles through Koko. The game is tied. Two power play goals for the Czechs, and it's a 2-2 game.
Stanchel takes advantage of a rush up. Pretty crazy collision here. Hamara, now Karina goes down. So now it's a 4-on-3. Clean 4-on-3 length of the ice, and Finland just backs up. A couple crisscrosses and drops. And Kangas ends up sitting in the lap of Koko. And Stanchel elects to shoot this one. Gets it under the glove of the goaltender to tie it up.
And Stanzel's last goal was the one with 11 seconds left against Canada, went off the skate, off the post and in. So now it's a 2-2 game here in the second period.
Koko is quite demonstrative.
Yes.
When he lets a goal in, we've seen just slammed his blocker into the top of the net in frustration.
Lenius plays it back across for Kaskamaki. Here's Newman with it. Now Newman walks out of the corner, feeds it back, Lenius shoots, scores! And just like that, the Finns retain the lead. 15 seconds after the Czechs had tied it. And Konsta Helenius has his first goal of the World Juniors.
Tidy finish from a tight angle, but it really made by Newman, who able to walk out of the corner, shed his check. Trebill gets roasted. He's coming in to finish here. He goes flying right by, and now it's a quick 2-on-1. Nice pass, and that's a tight angle. Didn't get a bank or anything. He just slipped it off the far post. Really nice play by Newman, who has been excellent in this game to restore the lead for Finland.
Helenius plays for Jukurit, not Jokerit, but Jukurit in the Finnish top league.
Nice for him to grab a goal. Kind of a consensus top 10 pick in the upcoming draft.
Some have him higher than that. Here they come again. Lassila drops it back. Kulonumi walks in, feeds it across. Score! What a pass for Hamanaho. And the Finns lead by 2 again.
I thought he missed the window, but he got it to him in time.
Goals 19 seconds apart.
What a feed. Turnover, and then a really nice play jumping up, catching the check forward. He was down on his knees, and Hamanaho slides. I didn't know if he was going to be able to find him. Put a line in. I thought he passed it too far behind him, but he gets it just on the tip of his blade and slings it in the empty net.
to restore the 2-goal lead. So much for the comeback. 20 seconds, and they're back up by 2.
Boy, just if you're the Czechs, it took 2 uppercuts seconds apart.
Although if you're judging on the flow of the game, they probably should be a 2-goal advantage for Finland.
By the way, I mentioned that Konsta Helenius plays for Ukraine in the Finnish SM League, the top league. His coach there, Olli Jokinen,
who is getting rave reviews as a future high-end coach.
Yeah, Seboka long shot kicked away. Of course, has lots of experience in North America. As Seboka sends it ahead, got back off. Kulik walks right in. He's poke checked there by Coco. Long shot, Coco batted that away. And the puck was played with a high stick. And play call with 9:52 to go in the second period. 2 quick goals for the Finns have them back up by 2 in the bronze medal game. Crave presents Academy Award winner Jodie Foster and Callie Reese a new chapter of the acclaimed HBO original series True Detective Night Country, streams Sunday, January 14th, only on Crave.
Only if you're looking for something lighthearted for an afternoon watch.
Comedy. That show is it's excellent, but wow. Dark. Have you watched Succession yet?
Yep, I did enjoy that very much.
Vaisinen lays it back in. Seboka off for Behar, who winds in 1-on-4, gets stripped of the puck by Keskinen. Or by Haltinen, rather. And now Keskinen with it. Or Haltinen, check. Almost bumps him off the puck. And there's Pulkkinen back on the forecheck, the defenseman for Finland. Haltinen around to Vaisinen, the other defenseman who's in on the forecheck. And Vaisinen has a look back for Manisto. Drops that back to Karki. Karki looks and shoots. That was blocked by Czech. And Karki has it back. Haltinen will go back and play for Dale Hunter and the London Knights after this. Moves it and shoots. That's blocked by Seboka. The Czechs break out 4 wide as Seboka brings it in. Now 2 of them peel off on a change. That shoot in by Seboka is blocked. Lead pass for Newman. Oh, nifty move by Newman through the offensive zone. Lines back in and shoots. And a good save there by Vondresh, who's leaning the other way. Helenius. Get knocked off the puck for a moment. Throws it back down, and Perchik has it back. Perchik moves back in, and Perchik back on it. Pins back along the boards. And Zidlichki kicks it back. Beshar plays it back, and a hard shot pounded wide by Zidlichki. Back goes Galvis to pick it up. Newman fell, and Galvis back on it. Thanks that back for Hammer, had to be careful. Thomas Hammer plays for Brantford in the Ontario Hockey League, the old Hamilton Bulldogs franchise. Kulik moves it and shoots. That's knocked away by Coco. Coco, who plays for Oulu. The Finnish league played that ahead. Oulu, he'll be looking forward to the sun here in Gothenburg. Oulu's way north of here.
It was a quick strike sequence in the second period. Czechia ties it up, but right after that, Finland comes back. Helenius gets his first, and then a beautiful feed to Hamanaho. And restores a 2-goal lead that Czechia had eliminated with 2 power play goals. And all the big guys are getting it done in this game.
Yeah.
Good to see.
Last year's bronze medal game went to overtime. The U.S. won it 8-7. It was a crazy game. The Americans took a 7-6 lead with about a minute and a half to go. The Swedes tied it with about 30 seconds to go, and the Americans won it in overtime. Chipped ahead by Amanaho, but Hamara back to pick it up. Back is Polkanen. Reverse threat for Kuranumi. Koska Pirti plays at Michigan Tech rather in the NCAA. As that knocked down, Stancil for Zelichki shoots. Koko the stop. A couple of American players play college hockey. Manisto's at Michigan State.
Amazing that they could. Playing college hockey is hard enough on its own, athletically, let alone dealing with academics of a different language. Not the academics in English, but it's trying to do the academics when you're finished.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That's the hard part.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a penalty call here at center ice by Tobias Bjork. And it's going against Czechia. Stancil is going off.
Other box.
And judging by the broken stick.
Other box, not just trying to go in the wrong.
Yeah.
So why you open the door then if
Team
I'm not
Czechia,
going
number
here?
21, minor penalty, illegal equipment.
Playing with a broken
Play
stick.
with a broken stick.
That's an unusual call because as soon as it's broken, it's almost instinctive to drop it.
Stancil number 21. You can see the stick was broken and he hit the guy. He made a play with the stick broken. So there's the stick broken.
Ah. Now he would argue I didn't know the stick was broken because it was still in one piece. He might not win the argument, but that can make the argument.
That argument would fall flat for me. I just think that would. The Finns 0 for 1 on the power play, a chance to extend their lead inside 6 to go here in the second. Keskinen plays that back, but it draws Kuranumi out. He's the quarterback of this Finnish power play, which is now 5 for 20 in the tournament. Later tonight, we'll see two of the very best power plays in the event. The Swedes and the United States have changed games with their power play. Amanaho works in, great move, walks right in, backhand shot, scores! Lenny Hamanaho does it himself, and the Finns lead by 3.
That's one of the best goals we've seen all tournament. Hamanaho, you're right, all by himself. He takes the pass on the wing, cross and drop off he goes, and he goes right through the feet of Hamara, and then takes it to the back door himself. Generates speed. It's going to be a good hard pass to catch Barish. Hamara trying to play defense, skating forward. Never a great idea because lots of seams to get it through, and once it's through, he's gone. Now, Hamanaho can either look to pass this, because Keskinen's right there, but with that speed, Vondres is stuck in mud and takes to the far post. Easy finish. Great goal.
Hamanaho, second-round pick of New Jersey, had all kinds of chances in the early part of the tournament. Remember, he was robbed twice by Matisse Rousseau, the Canadian goaltender, in the first game. Didn't score their fourth game against the Swedes, but the Finns won 5-4 in a shootout.
His tournament-ending stat line will be appropriate with how well he's played as he's piled up the points the last few games.
Finns had the lead against the United States yesterday, led 2-0. It was tied 2-2 in the third. Had a great chance late. Newman had a terrific opportunity. It was kicked out by American goaltender Trey Augustine, but now they're bouncing back here in the bronze medal game.
Key is here is that Hamanaho is not supposed to be able to get that puck so cleanly. Barish is supposed to be flared out earlier to discourage the pass, but just a really well executed neutral zone play and then individual effort.
Good pass by Kuranumi too.
Yeah, snap it hard and flat to get it to him.
Off the draw, Newman's shot was blocked. Lenius is down. They might have hit in the back.
Thanks for winning it, centerman.
There's Czech. Alice Czech. Comes that back down. It's picked off with a lead pass. Goes to Kaskamaki. Alexander Kaskamaki, one of the 7 St. Louis Blues draft picks who played in this tournament. GM Doug Armstrong was looking on with great interest throughout the weeks. Väisänen. Mila Väisänen steps out. Finland scored its last 3 shots. We'll move back. Knocked wide by Galvas. Stansel back on it. 4 to go in the second period. Helenius. From Kaskamaki, back for Helenius. He's tied up at center ice by Perchik. Beha moves in and shoots. He rattled that high. And it bounces off the glass. Up and out of play. 3:36 to go here in the second period. It's a 5-2 lead for Finland in the bronze medal game in Gotland.
A good night offensively for a lot of players, but Lenny Hamanaho has been as good as it comes for Finland. Couple goals in the second period. Now with 4 in the tournament, 6 points in 7 games, and a beauty. Imagine that Jersey has liked what they have seen from him in this tournament. Second round pick. A lot of second round picks play.
Some of them like Patrice Bergeron and Shea Weber really flagged.
Yeah, Ryan O'Reilly.
Yeah, long list of them. Moved in by Barish. Threw that wide of the goal. And Lasila brings it back out for the Finns. 3 to go in the second period. Still to come tonight, the gold medal game between Sweden and the United States. And judging by the Swedish fans filing in, I think we're in for a yellow and blue cauldron tonight. That goes into the Finnish bench.
I would be disappointed if that wasn't the case.
It's going to be loud and noisy and passionate. Swedes hosted the gold medal game 10 years ago in Malmo, lost in overtime to Finland. It's the second all-time gold medal game between the Swedes and the United States. The Americans won in 2013 in Ufa, Russia.
Feels appropriate, though. These are the 2 best teams in the tournament to this point. Going head-to-head, they've played previously at U18 championships in the final.
Yeah, the last 2, and they've been hotly contested. On it now by Kulik. Kulik drops it back. And Cech back on it. Alice Cech. Across for Sabolka. Cech's 2 goals have been scored on the power play. 5-on-5. This game has been very much in control by Finland. It was a tough start to their tournament. After the back-to-back losses to Canada and Germany, that puck came up and hit Halton in the face.
Halton goes down in a heap. He got something up. The puck caught him, or a stick on a follow-through. Well, the puck got chopped up into a glove off the bench, but Halton clearly was clipped on something. And not quick to get back up.
Halton number 22.
He accidentally skates right into Shapovalev's shoulder. And it's when you're not braced. And then you're kind of slack, and wow, picked him right on that. Totally incidental, totally accidental.
Shapovalov wasn't even looking.
No, both of them were looking at the puck, but watch his head toward. It's a big collision, completely by accident.
Now the officials are conferring here. I mean,
it is head contact.
He wasn't looking.
Head contact's illegal, whether you're looking at the person or not.
Well, except you have to actually initiate contact. Like, I mean,
I would never call this a penalty. Like, right. 2 guys were just skating up the ice, they bumped into each other while they looked for a puck. It got awkward, but you see Halton, look Shapoval's eyes. He's actually slides to get out of the way a little bit, and Halton turns right into him.
Czechia 24 is being assessed a major penalty. Play will be under review.
So they don't worry about whether they initiated or saw him or whether Halton turned into him. They just care about the head contact, which is illegal. And if, like, that's a 5-minute level of head contact that resulted in a completely accidental collision. And Shapovalov was explaining to him, I was just skating up the ice. He turned
He's
into
not
me.
even looking at. I mean,
It's almost hard. Like, how can you blame Shapovalov for this? He's just skating up completely in a non-aggressive stance. His legs are straight. He's standing upright.
is that a penalty? I don't think it's a penalty.
No, but here it is.
I disagree. I disagree. You have to initiate contact for it to be. I mean, I don't think Shapovalov did. Like, if you skate into him, I guess you could say he's moving forward into Halttunen, but I mean, Halttunen skated into him.
Yeah, I'm with you for sure. Now, we'll see. I mean, they could take that, and if your perspective is correct, they'll take this down to nothing.
Right.
To me, this is a 5 or it's nothing. And the determination really, I suppose, is intent. As they're watching it, we watch them watch the video.
Troy Murray, the two referees. I mean,
I don't even think Finland would suggest for a second that Shapovalov intended to do that. I mean, it was clearly 100% accidental. Halttunen staying on the bench, which is a good sign. But to me, this feels like a rule application, not really so much one of intent. I guess because when I watch it, and you watch the play, real-time replay, the intent is clearly not there for Shapovalov.
yeah, but I mean, I guess if you think Shapovalov, I mean, people collide all the time by accident and hit the head. It's not a penalty.
I like the DJ very much.
What's going on? Yeah.
Time to make a call, boys. Time to make a call.
Yeah, you've seen every angle now. I mean,
You're not learning anything else. You can only flesh it out so long. Halttunen's okay. That's very good news. Staying on the bench. Probably have a bit of a sore neck tomorrow. Hopefully from the weight of the medal he's trying to win. He's going to wear all night. No more looks at it. Shapovalov skating up the ice. Halttunen turns into him. He clips his head absolutely accidentally. So,
like, to your point, Shapovalov even tried to get out of the way.
no, he slid a little bit, and his body was slack because he was not trying to create a bigger collision. This is a perplexing one.
All right, so Troy Murray from Regina will give us the call.
After review, the play is being reduced to a minor penalty for checking to the head.
So is that the middle ground where it's saying we're acknowledging it was an accident, but it happened, so that's worth a minor? That's how I have to interpret it.
Yeah, I guess, but here's Jussi Jokinen in behind, the assistant coach, one of the assistant coaches for Finland. We're back on the power play here in a 5-2 game as Patrick Augusta did not like that call. Finns are 1 for 2 on the power play. Kamanaho scored on the last one on a great individual effort. Newman plays that back to Karki. Helenius to Newman. Karki. Helenius centers, and a hard shot by Kaskamaki, kicked out there by Vondra. Newman plays it back across, centered. Kupalainen with a shot, bunker save, rebound, and Kupalainen reaching for that. Now banked by Karki and back down the ice. Helenius up after Kaskamaki. He pivots back. Karki with it. To Helenius. Swings it back to Kaskamaki. Great pass across, but too far for Newman. And now Kaskamaki feeds across. Helenius a hard shot. That was blocked in front by Perchis. Caught by Stanzel. And a lead pass, shorthanded break. Behar, it scores! Andre Behar of the Prince George Cougars get Czechia back within 2 with a short-handed goal. Czechia's first of the tournament.
They're going to take a good long look at this for offside.
Oh boy.
As Basher snuck in behind. The play was deflected. And a couple things to remember. You can go through the backwards if you have control of it. You can go through with your skate in the air. We need a... Nah,
under his skate.
And for the record, a puck on your skate is fully in control. Make no mistake about it. As soon as it touches his skate, he has control of it. Oh, goodness. But he has to touch it. Right, he can't just be hovering above it. He has to touch it.
The Finns were all gathered around the monitor at the end of their bench, staring at replays of it.
Because it looked like for a second he might have been hovering above it without touching it. I mean, oof, that's really close. Well, it's going to stand.
So it's 5-3, another 2-goal lead.
Czechia will not go away.
Good for them.
Resilience, yeah.
Get down in the bronze medal game, it can be disheartening. What a play by Behar, who scores his first of the World Junior. .30 seconds to go in the period. Time winding down in this Finnish power play. Keskinen slides that back. Kulanumi. Back for Keskinen. Here's Keskinen. Works it back to Kulanumi. Haltonen all teed up for the one-timer on the other side as Shapovalov steps back on. 2 shots in that power play as Laszlo moves in. And the stop made point blank by Vondrach. And time expires here at the end of the second period. And now some pushing and shoving as Alsher gets into it. He's involved with Haltonen. Little charades there, I like it.
Shapovalov and Haltonen just collided with each other prior to.
5-3 the score in favor of Finland after 2 periods at the bronze medal game of the 2024 World Junior Hockey Championship. Our second intermission is coming up and the gold medal game is still ahead.
Lenny, your team able to put up 3 goals in that period alone. What did you like about that second period performance?
Yeah, I think it was good period for us. Last 2 games we wasn't so good in the second period, so I'm happy that we were better now.
Sure, you're also happy you have 2 goals so far in this game. So what's been working for you here in this bronze medal matchup?
Yeah, I think I got in the first goal, good pass, and yeah, just went in.
This is your second World Juniors, an opportunity to win a medal. What would that mean to you?
It would mean a lot, of course. This tough tournament and good guys to play with here, so it would be great to get a medal from here.
Appreciate it, Lenny. Good luck.
Thank you.
Back with Cheryl Pounder and Bob McKenzie. I'm not sure a bad goal against can ever qualify as a TSN turning point copyright, but in this case, maybe it did. Maybe it woke Finland up because within 34 seconds after giving up that bad goal, they scored 2 to take control of the game. How?
Well, it's about changing momentum and finding ways to do it, and that's exactly what Finland did. And it came because they were hard on the puck, and it was the second player in was the next closest for them. And when you do that, you're able to retrieve the puck, and that's exactly what happens. They're here along the wall, and they get close quickly, but you can see Yanni Newman just pounce on that puck. So what's going to happen is now he's going to draw coverage. You can see Helenius just recognized, I can lose coverage, get in the back door with that low 2-on-1, just being that second player in. Again, in the neutral zone, you got everyone back. Now you push Czechia back. That's where the turnover is. Guess what? Second player pounces on the puck. The delay creates space. Now, all of a sudden, you've got some net drive through the middle of the ice. That backs everyone up, and the defender there, Kulanumi, makes a brilliant play coming down the middle of the ice, draws a stick, and then just puts it on Haminaho's stick for his first of the game. Of course, he would get a second.
So Czechia is desperate to get back in the game at 5-2, and they get that penalty. Now, they ended up scoring shorthanded and no damage from the Finnish side. But, Bob, look, we've always applauded efforts to reduce head shots and head contact and dangerous hits in hockey. But I don't understand. Gord always says there's no legal check to the head, but I don't understand how you can look at this for 5 minutes. The Finnish player goes right into his way. That's not a check. That's just a guy stepping into your way. How do you call that a penalty after looking at it 18 times?
Well, I guess they look at it and say Sapovalov, number 24 for the Czechs, is in the field of vision where he had the opportunity to see something coming his way, and there's no chance for Halttunen to avoid the collision. Call it what you want. So Troy Murray, number 15, the referee from Regina, he made a call to reduce the 5-minute major to a 2-minute minor. And at the end of the day, I guess what it is IIHF has that standard that we talk about. Any hit to the head's an illegal hit to the head, basically. And so they decided to go that route. The hit reminds me very similar to David Steckel's hit on Sidney Crosby in the Winter Classic, way back when, Washington-Pittsburgh. Steckel, by the way, wasn't penalized, wasn't suspended on that hit, much to the chagrin of many Pittsburgh fans who thought it was intentional. Most other people saw it the other way. And I think you're right. I saw it as a collision, and I don't know if you ever want to read in more. I wouldn't even think of this, but I just did. The fact that Sapovalov plays for the Saginaw Spirit of the Midwest Division of the OHL, and Halttunen plays for the London Knights. They see each other a lot, but honestly, it looked like a collision to me.
Well, we've seen ones like that where you could, judging by the person who does it, sometimes you think it's accidentally on purpose. That wasn't the case there. I just don't know what he's supposed to do. But either way, they get a shorthanded goal, and they're still in this one through 2 periods of play. 20 minutes left to go. And then a little more time, and the one we've been waiting for all day long. USA, Sweden, the 2 pre-tournament favorites, live up to the billing and will play for gold. We'll preview that next.
A busy second period. Stansel drew the Czechs back within 2 quick goals for the Finns. Haminaho then strikes on the power play with a great solo dash, but Andre Behar short-handed, the first short-handed goal scored here at Scandinavian in the tournament. And it's 5-3, the Finns leading after 2 periods of play. Took a while for the Finns to get going in this tournament. They gave up their first loss ever to Germany at the World Junior Championship, but they're really rolling now.
Yeah, they're playing very well, and sometimes it's as simple as who's winning the one-on-one battles. Like, that's what it comes down to create your offense. For Finland, they've done a really good job of winning puck battles off the wall and getting to the middle of the ice. They're beating the Czechs physically, and they're beating them with their skates, and when they win these battles, they're getting them to scoring opportunities, and they're making the most of them. So Czechia will only have themselves to look at, saying, we need to be better in those areas to try to limit what Finland can do, to try to stay in this game. But it's been really impressive. Just good, hard board work and some skill play to get Finland their opportunities. And one more, I mean, Hamar wasn't quite on the boards, but he got beat anyways. And Finland has shown their quality through 2 periods.
Teams start the 3rd period 5-on-5 with the Finns leading by 2. Seeking a 3rd medal in the last 4 years. Finns have 3 gold medals in the last 10. They won that 2014 tournament in Malmo, Sweden, with the overtime goal by Rasmus Ristolainen. Then 2016 at home in Helsinki, another golden goal, Kasperi Kapanen. And then 2019 in Vancouver with a last-minute goal by Capo Caco against the United States with just seconds remaining in regulation. They have a flair for the dramatic to the Finns.
They're hoping they don't need it tonight. Cruise on through the 3rd period, and you're right. I think that shorty, though, by Czechia keeps them engaged in this game as possible.
Finland's first gold medal came in 1987 when Canada and Russia got kicked out. Haminaho blocked that shot, and that broke the stick of Saboka. I would have thought it broke Haminaho's stick, but Saboka blew up on him. Czech drops it down. That long shot by Chalet is gloved by Coco. Finns won in 1998 on home ice. Nicholas Hagman, golden goal.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's great names from this tournament in the past, and it would be a challenge for Czechia. You're right. You know, your bronze medal game, you're down a few goals, the end of your tournament. You're facing the prospect of maybe going home empty-handed when you've been so close in so many of these games. And we'll see if they're able to rally with enough energy to push in the third period. They have 14 shots so far in the game.
Czechs were back-to-back gold medalists in 2000 and 2001. They were also the world champions in those years and the reigning Olympic men's champions. One of their stars back then was Pavel Brendel. They won in 2000 and 2001. The 2000 tournament was here in Sweden in Skellefteå, which is a few hours north of here. And the gold medal game, Mike, was one of the worst hockey games ever played.
Wait a second.
It was terrible.
Why?
It was scoreless through 3 periods and overtime. They went to a shootout, and I swear they were dumping it in during the shootout. It was horrific.
Oh. Tough sledding for a gold medal game.
Yeah, as the Czechs against the Russians. I think Sergei Bobrovsky was the goalie for the Russians in that game.
Well, thank goodness the game is not played or coached that way anymore. And so many of the teams, European ones, I see Patrick Augusta, they don't play the same lockdown defense-only system that we saw Czechia really play with at the turn of the century. Those 2000 teams, they just played all defense. It's not how hockey is anymore, which is good.
Yeah, it was Brizgalov.
Ah, Briz.
He's being paid till 2028 by the Flyers.
Tell me if that's what he's doing. He's playing for the Flyers.
His son's quite a good player. Defenseman, I think. That long shot knocked away, and Stützle puts that wide. 3 special teams goals for the Czechs. 2 power play, 1 shorthanded. That's bumped ahead for Behar, who has the shorthanded goal. It's knocked across. And taken back by Kelly Kangan, Pittsburgh's 7th round pick. That plays offside as it's touched up by Rimov.
Tommy Monisto, a surprising top 3 player selection for Finland. At the start of the tournament, Tommy Monisto, who plays for Michigan State,
the freshman there,
was the 13th forward. He was not on a forward line. He was in the games, but he was not playing. And because of his quality plays, moved up the lineup and picked as one of the top 3 players for Finland.
Amazing how often that happens.
Guy's going to be a bit part, turns into a pretty important one.
Koski-Pertti works in now for Finland. Pivots back in the corner. And Koski-Pertti lays that back in deep for Kupalainen. Tarki. Lays it back, and Chalet trying to post that ahead. Chalet will do a return next year as a Seattle first-round pick, 20th overall in the last NHL draft. Really boosted his stock in the Holinka Gretzky Cup in the summer of 22 in Red Deer. And the tournament returning to Alberta in this summer of 2024. And the coverage of the PWHL continues Monday. Ottawa against Boston. Coverage starts at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific on TSN.
Let's see some of these American teams host.
Yeah,
it's been a
looking forward to seeing that.
Big hit.
We'll be back in time for that.
Toronto, Ottawa, Minnesota playing in the XL.
You just saw Adam Zidlichki, the 18-year-old. I did not look like that when I was 18.
I still don't.
His dad, Merrick, was a really good NHL defenseman. Baurush taken down. Play continues. And the Czechs are giving it to referee Tobias Bjork about that.
At first blush, if that was going to be a call, that was going to be a call on a dive.
Alice Czech winds ahead. In comes Czech, tries to bank that around, and Hamanaho back to pick it up. We've talked about this before. The team that wins this game, the players that win this game will be happier winning a bronze.
That was a nasty collision.
Kaskamaki took down Barash.
Almost like a wicked slew foot.
There's no penalty being indicated.
It's been an eventful shift for Barash. Hope he's okay. As
CZECHIA come over for a word with
Kaskamaki. They gotta have a chat about this one. Here's the first non-call. Barash is looking to take off. Stick tank up Kolonumi. You could call that a hold if you want, but he also could call a dive for going down that way. But this one's much more dangerous. Well, not that one. That one could have been a call. They let it go as well. But here it is. He gets both his feet off the ground. You go down and you hit your head. That is dangerous.
Officials are talking, but there doesn't appear to be a penalty called. Troy Murray of Canada, Tobias Bjork of Sweden.
You need to see, where's the puck? Does he have it on his stick? He does not. That's it. First of all, that's interference because he doesn't have the puck.
Right.
And that's a slew foot. That left leg coming through in behind, that is a slew foot, and it's interference. He is so fortunate. If he catches his right foot or on the ice, he breaks his ankle. Or he bangs his head. This should be 5. This should be 5 in a game.
Of all the plays that players hate, slew footing is the one, right, that drives them more nuts than anything.
You can hear it in my voice. It is slew footing around the boards is a bit different because sometimes you pin and your body part, but in open ice like that, it is so dangerous.
Now Kaskamaki is being sent to the penalty box. Here's the call from Troy Murray.
Finland 24, minor penalty, interference.
So they just call the bump, but they don't call. No, what was bad was your kick of the interference penalty. Yeah, I disagree. The left leg was moving enough for me to warrant that being interpreted as a slew foot.
And you know what Mikkola is saying. What about the trip?
Absolutely, probably should have been a penalty right before that.
All right, so the Czechs are back on the power play where they've scored twice and a chance to get back within one.
I thought this would be an uneventful third period. I thought the Czechs might not have it in them and it would just grind to an end.
Don't look now.
They're
2 for 2 at the power play and a chance here now. And you think this power play should be longer?
Yes, I do.
Kaskanen for the faceoff against Shapovalov. Shapovalov wins that back, and the hard shot taken there by Milovsky was blocked. Hamara. For Milovsky, good. One-timer scores from distance this time, and look out, the Czechs are back within one.
You want to know how he scores? That's how he scores.
That took 12 seconds on the power play. The other one took 8.
That is obscenely good. Half slapper, little backswing, picks it right to the top board. What are we not going to let happen?
No seam pass.
There's a seam pass.
Ooh.
And man, does he just place it. Milovsky picks up another assist. We'll see how he's getting them. Lasala gets caught. Lasala thinks that Kulik is down on the face-off dot. He's got a stick protecting a lane that nobody is standing in. And that opens up the seam and the second for Kulik. And we have ourselves a game.
15 goals in 23 games for Kulik. In 3 World Juniors for Czechia. There's a long shot. Coco above that. As that was taken by Hamara.
And with that goal, would he time Pavanka for 4th all-time on the goal-scoring list for this tournament? And it's all about movement, right? Finding the spot where you can score from, and that is open. I mean, the club head speed flying through that puck is something to behold, and he catches it clean. Technology-induced elevation, drops to a knee. That is a goal-scorer shot.
Which is what he does. Alsher's shot, that's deflected wide by Stansel. 5-4, 15 to go here. Behar worked that free. The Finns are hollering for a penalty there. Pulkkinen back with it. Up for Nokarinen. Johnny Nokarinen. He works in, knocked down by Hamala. Every time someone hits the ice now, the benches are calling for a penalty.
Which is a function of human nature, probably makes it less likely they're going to get the call.
FYI, referees hate that.
Yes.
You never did that.
Refs actually quite
every referee I've ever come into contact with since you retired said you were always very
calm.
Yeah. Very logical. Newman centers it, it's tipped wide by Kaskamaki. That long shot by Kangas almost snuck through on Vondres. Who came into the game early in the first period after the Finns had taken a quick 2-0 lead. Back goes Karki. And Zidlicky closes on him. The pass is picked on by Milovsky. Back down to Zidlicky. Looks back at Milovsky, and that pass was knocked away by Karki. Now Sabolka, great move. Following Kaskamaki. Feeds that back for Barash. Barash, long shot, way wide and off the glass. The second ever bronze medal game between Finland and Czechia. The only other one was 20 years ago in Helsinki. Later that day, the United States won its first ever gold medal game, beating Canada. Look ahead now for Manisto, and it plays offside at the Czech blue line. The captain, Jiri Kulik, has struck again. The Buffalo first rounder has Czechia back within one.
Do the same on the power play. 1, 2. Those are not the same goal, although they look very similar. And see what he's got now. 15 career World Junior goals. And that's tied fourth with some pretty exclusive company.
Yeah. Vladimir Ruzicka, their all-time leader. Came over and played in North America, Edmonton and Boston primarily.
That Rosie?
Yeah. Really good player. He was later in his career. Unfortunately, his English teacher in Edmonton was Kevin McClellan. He taught him all the bad words first. Which was kind of the point, I guess. And Ruzicka went on to be a long-time coach in the Czech Extra League. And a pretty fierce one, too. Shapovalov picks that free. Alsher moves it ahead for Kulik. Trying to find Chalet. And get him, he's back to pick it up. Eight of these Finns can return next year. And there's another, Aaron Kivaharju, they didn't get. He got hurt in October, hasn't played since. Kivaharju is a really high-rated prospect for the draft. Very slick defenseman. And they also didn't get Joachim Kemmel this year, the Nashville first round. Koskapirti. Back to Tianemi, that's lifted wide.
In contrast, Kemmel playing in Milwaukee in the AHL didn't come. Kulik playing in the AHL has come and has been great.
Yeah. Wide pass, Tianemi plays it back out. Kupalainen couldn't knock it down. Brought in by Alice Czech. Long shot, gloved by Koko. And he squeezes that.
Czechia's got themselves back within one here, so they can take their time and don't have to press in an out-of-control way. Just continue chipping away. Take the game right down to the wire if they can.
Patrick Augusta had a long career in North America, in the NHL, the American League, the IIHL. Skill guy.
I wonder how many of these players would know how good their coaches were as players.
Yeah, it's
probably not really. If you look at his stats, but not really, no.
feeling among coaches that for young players, the game started when they began playing it. There was just a bunch of stuff in books before that. Yeah, I mean, I think clearly the awe that, you know, some of the legends are held. I mean, the Swedish players meeting Henrik Lundqvist the other day, they were speechless. Hamanaho works back in. Hamanaho taken down, and there's a penalty coming to Galvis. And so the Finns will go to the power player, 10:50 to go, and Tobias Bjork wants nothing to do with anyone talking back on that penalty.
He's heard just about enough from both benches, everybody involved. I'm making the calls. Everyone be quiet. I'm going to announce them. A trip to Galvis, who, yeah, gets a stick underneath the skate of Hamanaho. Good call. Easy call to make, and Finland has the power play, and I'm not sure what Zidlitsky's problem is. Is he accusing him of diving? He stepped on the guy's stick.
So the Finns are back on the power play.
They were looking to end the game on the power play. Then in the second, they gave up a shorty instead.
Yeah. Finns are 1 for 3 on a man advantage.
Hamanaho sitting on 2 for the night.
Keskinen. Gunumi. Back for Keskinen. Haltonen tees it up and miscued that wide. Picked off now. Stansel. Behar, who scored shorthanded, moves back in again. That just rolled off his stick. Behar. Back around for Stansel. Slide that back to center ice to Ulsher. The Florida third-round pick, plays for Portland in the Western Hockey League. He's got a long flight back tomorrow.
A lot of us do.
Not that far. Not going to Portland. I'm going to say there's no directs from Gothenburg to Portland.
Unlikely.
Moved up by Zidlitsky. He got poke check. Zidlitsky goes rink wide. In comes Malofsky, shoots, and a shorthanded chance for Czechia. Now let's check. Lifts that back down. 50 seconds to go in the Finnish power play. Karaki. So Kupalainen centers it. Newman in, shoots, and a great stop there by Vondrag. Perchik. Out for Behar. They'll just flip that back to Ulsher. Flips it back down. And the Finns regroup.
Sensing a real bit of desperation from Finland on this power play.
Helenius winds in. Konsta Helenius drops that back for Kupalainen. Held by Karki. Helenius back across for Newman. Final second of this power play, Newman. Back for Karki. Karki shoots. Fonders makes the save, and the puck sticks under his pad as the penalty expires. 2 shots on that Finnish power play. 8:48 to go in the third period. The sun setting in Gothenburg, the gold medal games. The main event still to come. The gold medals in the middle, bronze and silver, all being presented today. The United States and Sweden will each other for the second time in a gold medal game at the World Junior Championship. The other time was in 2013 in Ufa, Russia. That team backstopped by John Gibson in goal, Jacob Trouba, Shane Gostisbehere, Jake McCabe, Seth Jones on defense, Johnny Gaudreau up front, JT Miller.
That's a good team.
It was an excellent team, coached by Phil Housley. The United States is 5-1 all-time in gold medal games.
They probably, even though they're on the road in Sweden, they're probably the favorite in the gold medal game.
You'd have to think now that
Slight, very slight.
the Swedes have a great team here. They'll have home ice, but they've got the burden of history and expectation on them. And the history has nothing to do with them, but it follows them around.
I would be trying to phrase it. They have the opportunity to erase it, to forget it, to write their own history.
Koska Pertic has to flip that ahead. That's knocked away from him.
Finland grinding it out here, getting it down to the wire. If they can stay 5-on-5,
Right.
they'll have a good chance, as it's been all special teams for Czechia in this game.
Since the advent of the medal round format of the 1996 tournament in Boston, the Swedes are 1-6 in gold medal games.
Not good. It's not good.
And the one they won was a 1-0 knee knocker against Russia in Calgary in 2012.
But didn't they outshoot Calgary or Russia like 50-10 in that game?
It was crazy. I mean,
so they earned that one.
Well, yes,
the hard way. Yeah, you know what? But the atmosphere and the energy that will be in this building.
Shots were 50-16 after regulation. And Mika Zibanejad finally ended it. Long shot. Perchik was blocked, and again the second drive. The Czechs are hanging around here.
They just don't go away. In a game, in a tournament, they will always keep working.
It was 2-0, 4-2, 5-2. But the Czechs have chipped away here.
And they'll keep it tight, get to a point where you can get the goalie out, and look to tee up your shooters.
The shots have been close, although the play at 5-on-5 has not been.
3 power play goals from a shorty right now for Czechia.
Hey, move the puck!
They're trying, Tobias. They're trying. Elenius winds his way out, drops that back for Kaskamaki. Kaskamaki works it back up high, and then just backhands it about 15 feet over the glass.
Interesting move.
Now the glass is low here, but it's not that low. That's out in any building. Like that thing goes out at Fenway Park. Like that's
full strategy, Cotton. See how it plays out. Trying to get it in deep, just got away from him. Sometimes the puck rolls on you. How much Malashki? He's getting chippy here after the whistle. Having a conversation. Troy Murray of Canada saying we don't need much more of that. A lot of these Czech players he might run into either in the Quebec League or perhaps the Memorial Cup down the road.
Could have a good chance to play in it with Big Como.
So back and forth with Haltonen, who plays for London. They have seemingly every year they have a chance to get to it. One warning for Czechia here. Not want a second.
Face-off kick back, Chalet. Trying to play that ahead. Haltonen knocks it back into the Czech zone. Hamanov goes back to pick it up. Inside 7 to go here in the third. Shapovalov. Great pass to Alsher was jumped up. That play called offside. I brought it, puck went off a stick it up and out. We're calling offside at first, but apparently not.
Third period is creeping along.
Yeah, it's
no flow whatsoever.
And that's probably fine for the Czechs, right?
I don't know. I mean, every whistle allows the team defending a lead to recalibrate, change, get settled. Almost think a little more up and down if you're the team chasing goals.
Koska Pertti banks that out. Here's Kulik banking that back. And this top line goes back to work for Czechia. This is the line that played together in the gold medal game against Canada last year. The loss in the goal by Dylan Gunther. The golden goal. Second straight year that Canada won the gold medal in overtime. We might very well see OT in the gold medal game tonight. Kulik winds it and shoots. Whistled that wide. Chalet back on it. Kulik tried to center that. Two Finns collided there. Lasila bumped hard into Salin. North Carolina goes back in. And they don't go in and have that knocked away by Shapovalov. Plays it back for Sabolka. Tomasz Sabolka plays for Val-d'Or in the Quebec League. He's the only Quebec League defenseman who's leading his team in points. leads the league in points by defenseman. Stansel. In on Kaskamaki. Now poked free for a moment by Kaskamaki. Helenius walks in. Bounce to Helenius. On Stansel. Centers, and that was knocked away by Vondrage. And that puck was played with a high stick. And play called. 5:20 to go here in the third period. The bronze medals to be decided. And the Finns have a 1-goal lead on Czechia. International hockey right back tomorrow with Canada's debut at the Under-18 Women's World Championship. Canada taking on Germany. Coverage starts at 2 Eastern, 11 Pacific on TSN. Newman back with it. Loose behind the goal. Newman back with it. Spins and shoots. Tipped in front by Kaskamaki. That pass for Helenius was broken up there by Sabolka. That saved the goal.
Good idea to get it across the crease. Helenius was hanging where he scored his goal from, off the back door.
Last year, the 5 top-level IIHF events, all won by North American teams. Canada won the World Championship, the World Junior, the Women's Under-18s. The U.S. won the Women's World Championship and the Men's Under-18. And now Galvis falls. Plays that back across for Barash. And the United States will try to keep that roll going tonight.
It's going to be a doozy. It's going to be a good game.
Galvis.
Czechia gets a little push here. Needs some momentum, a little motion back into this game. It's gotten bogged down with whistles.
Here comes the top line again. Kulik works in and shoots. And Coco the save on that. For Cheek. So this line will play this shift. Then probably come back. What, about 2 to go? We've got a timeout yet.
For the rest of the game.
Goalie out. If they don't score here. Now moved up by Hamanaho. And Perchik chipped into him, and
they got the icing and not the interference.
That looked like interference. You know, when you make that step, right?
You gotta hit. You can't finish him when the puck's been off his stick that long. That's just it. If you had the puck on a stick, it's so far past the right. Yeah, and it's an icing. So Czechia gets it back in the offensive zone.
As soon as Perchik steps into him, they call that every time in the NHL.
Not every time, apparently.
Not here. Yeah. Normally here it's called quite a bit. Off the draw, Behar reaching for it, taken away by Bao. Samu Bao had that taken away. Poking it back out there. Poking it might be interesting with a 1-goal lead. You never know what he might do.
Something. Something.
Sally plays it back around for Pianyemi. Stansel stepped into him. Played back in. Back across. Hard shot hammered there by Behar. Here to Coco. Hamara. Spins that back. And Rimon plays it ahead. Rimon reaching for it, knocks it free. Rimon. What a move. In shoots. Coco the save and squeezes that. Inside 3 to go here in the third.
Tidy stick handling. Rimon. Jumps on a puck just inside the blue line. You're standing still, so you got to be pretty slick with your stick, and Salin just gets roasted. And prior to that, one of the best chances we've seen in a while. Quick one-timer. Becker, who scored a short-handed goal earlier, wheels and fires from distance. Trying Coco, so Czechia with under 3 in the clock.
Yeah,
elects to take their timeout. Offensive zone face-off. Robert Reichel, long-time incredible international and NHL player.
In the IIHF Hall of Fame.
Draws it up.
Remember their 1998 Olympic gold medal team?
Always would come over to play for his country.
Actually, the Finns called timeout here.
Wow.
That's interesting. Now, we saw the most bizarre coaching move earlier in this tournament. The Finns had lost their first 2 games to Canada and Germany. It was the first time they'd ever been beaten by the Germans. And the next game against Latvia was a 2:30 local start. And Lauri Mikkola, the Finnish coach, scheduled an 8 a.m. morning skate for the 2:30 afternoon game. They won it 4-0 and then won 3 in a row.
So now it's a brilliant move.
Yeah.
Apparently.
I would love to see the look on your face when your coach said, hey, Mike, 8 a.m. morning skate tomorrow for the 2:30 start.
You wouldn't want that, but there we go. 6 on 5.
Okay, so
Launch on the bench.
2:56 to go. Early for you, or?
Offense's own face-off is probably what they're knowing that they'll be hard to come by.
Shapovalov for the face-off against Keskinen. There's Behar with it. Back for Kulik. They'll watch him closely. It's bounced away from Milovsky. The puck goes into the Finnish bench, as what appeared. Kulik back for it. He's thrown rink wide for Milovsky. Tejas Milovsky. Dropped that back. Now it's put up by Hamada. Drops it back for Kulik. And Kulik backhands it high in the air to the corner. There's a hunt down his own shooter. Shapovalov with it. Laid back across Behar. Hamara for Kulik. Hammers that shot to the outside of the goal. Bouncing puck in front. And Shapovalov couldn't contain it. There's Behar back with it. Kulik. Hamara. Milovsky. Center. Kulik shoots. Kicked up by Koko. Rebound. Score! The rebound cashed. But Andre Behar gets his second of the game, and with 1:56 to go, the game is tied at 5.
Wow. What a rally. Behar starting to come back with a shorty in the second, ties it up late, and they finally found the pass they wanted. Seam pass to Kulik, and everything breaks down from there. It's a really good pass to get it over to him. He smartly gets it to the far side of the net, and the rebound there for his guys to do some work with. And Shapovalov there can't get there in time, but Behar just chips it up and over to tie the game. And the early goalie pull pays dividends.
Does it ever?
For Czechia. Look at the... I'm stunned they came back. Down 5-2, I thought it was over. Shorthanded goal from Behar on the... While down 5-2, kicked it all off, and now they're right back even with Finland.
Their first even strength goal in the game.
It's not even strength, it's 6 on 5.
Their first non-special teams goal of the game. That's gloved by Koko.
5 on 5, who needs it? Amazing stuff for Czechia. 3 power play goals, 1 shorthanded goal, and 1 6 on 5 goal. Beautiful pass from Chalet to get over to Kulik, and the finish by Behar. It's just the resiliency and the emotional reservoir to keep fighting in a game that they are down.
4 of these players remain from the bronze, but a long shot scores, and they've done it again. Hamara with a harmless-looking point shot that deflects by Koko, and it's 6-5 Czechia. And 4 of these guys lost the bronze medal game 2 years ago, and they've got a chance now to win it. They were down 5-2 late in the second.
Clean win.
Straight in.
Straight in. Koko just can't find it. And Kulik just drops it back to Hamara. He doesn't even shoot it hard. It's gravity that's making it drop.
The Ottawa 3rd round pick.
This is one for the ages. Celebration goes all the way down to the end. Vondras gets dragged in. Why not? There's their first 5 on 5 goal of the game.
Goals 15 seconds apart have stunned the Finns here. And now we've got to think goalie out. Now, don't forget the Finns used their timeout earlier.
Yes. A strange time to use it as well. So now it's going to be Koko out as soon as Finland gets possession in the offensive zone.
Inching his way out now. Karki with it. Drops that back to Helenius. And Koko makes his way to the Finnish bench. Shades of last year when the lead seesawed back and forth in the late stages of the bronze medal game between Sweden and the United States. The U.S. took the lead with a minute and a half to go in that game. The Swedes tied it late and then lost it in overtime. Now a chance score, empty netter, and it's poked home by Raymond. And 7-5 Czechia.
They get 5 straight goals for Czechia. 5 straight. Yes. Great job on the boards, winning the battle to get it out. And Raymond gets on his horse and tight little tuck when he finally gets hold of it.
His second goal of the tournament. He plays for Everett in the Western Hockey League.
Karki overskates it, unfortunately, and so it was Czechia who actually had called the timeout previously, which makes much more sense.
It was improperly announced earlier, so the Finns can call timeout now, but what do? You're down 2.
You take a page from the Czechia playbook and score 2 in 20 seconds.
I guess. What a stunning turn of events. The Finns led the game 2-0 in the early stages of the first period, chased the Czech starter Michal Rabel.
The coaches are celebrating harder behind the bench than the players are. Raymond, who's been a useful player.
Yeah.
Using speed to help facilitate good stuff.
And the Czechs last won a medal for last year. That was their first medal in 18 years. Their last back-to-back medals were the golds they won in 2000 and 2001.
And it's so unusual for Finland to collapse this way.
This is just crushing for the Finns.
The goalie's staying out. Not even going to pull him. You keep him out. 6-on-5 to start.
Minute 8 to go. And Lauri Mikola's seat got hot early in the tournament. When they lost their first 2 games, it might be warming up again after this, but another empty netter score! Right off the draw. It's Behar. There go the coaches again.
And that's it. That's the game.
8-5 Czechia.
It barely makes sense. But it's a beautiful memory for the Czech players. They'll have a good time celebrating this. Like a long time ago that they were pulling their starting goaltender.
Yeah, I mean, they were reeling.
They were down 5-2. Finland was going on the power play, ready for party time. And Meher goes forward with the face-off and dumps it in the empty net.
And that goal scored late in the second period, shorthanded.
That's it.
There was 55 seconds left in the second period when he scored it.
Even if you don't score, like even if Finland just doesn't score, just go through the 2 minutes. You start the third 5-2. It gave Czech players a reason to believe that they could come back. It got them close enough to get them invested in the game again. And boy, they just found a way.
It is stunning. Kenenjemi on for Kupalainen. Not sure I believe it. I just saw it. But it's
they've hardly been dominant offensively, and they put an 8 spot up.
Right. How many times you get outplayed badly 5-on-5 and score 8?
Crazy game.
Kulik, big part of the power play. They had a shorthanded goal.
4 points in this game for Kulik, I think.
Time winding down here in the third. Czechia, a silver medalist last year after a heartbreaking overtime loss to Canada, will battle back here, and things getting nasty down low. There's Shapovalov's into it. The Czech coaches are celebrating. There's still a second to go on the clock.
I don't realize there's a brawl going on the ice.
Newman has got his gloves up. Now, here's the thing. If you do something here, you can be suspended. Now, if you have hopes to play for the national team in the future, or you're returning next year, you can be suspended.
The linesman recognized what was going on and tried to get in there and stop Shapovalov and Newman before this escalated, even though there was still time left on the clock. And preemptively tried to get it under control. Czechia has already emptied the bench. They got to get back on the bench. Still time on the clock. So they'll have another opportunity. So Newman was fantastic in this game. It is just straight frustration and disbelief.
There's Haltonen
for Finland.
There'll be some penalties handed out here.
I mean, hopefully let them go sit on their benches and drop the puck and let's end the game and let Czechia celebrate. And it's amazing. Every time that Czechia was on the edge of getting blown out of this game, they had a power play goal in the first period when they were down 2-0, had nothing going on.
Right.
They had a shorty when they were down 5-2, had nothing going on.
Shots 17-4 Czechia in the third period.
And I don't know. That's not so bad. Listen, they're kids.
Czechia
He kept his
23,
mouth
both
mostly
2-minute
shut.
minors, roughing.
He's going by the bench. You know, he didn't directly relate, turn to the players. So whatever. Coincidental minors roughing. Shapovalov can celebrate the win coming out of the box.
He'll get a long run at the pile. And for the Finns,
it's amazing. You know, you celebrate the joy, but you got to recognize the heartbreak.
They were crushed last year. They lost to the Swedes in the quarterfinal, given that shorthanded goal with a minute to go in a tie game.
We would have got some good odds if Finland scored 5 that they would win this game.
The last 2 bronze medal games have featured 28 goals.
It was a slow build, but it got crazy in the end.
Yeah, no kidding. You're like, where's the pace for Czechia? Oh, well.
Just hold my beer. Here it comes.
They score 3 times in the last 2 minutes, 4 times in the last 2 minutes with the empty netters. And Czechia takes the bronze. A stunning result in Gothenburg. But Czechia wins a medal for the 2nd straight year. And the Finns heartbroken once again. What a way to finish it off for Kulik. Tremendous for the Czechs. Those 4 guys were part of 3 teams for Czechia in the World Junior Championship. And may very well be mainstays for their national teams going forward.
You know what's nice too for Michael Krabel? He gets to erase his tough start with a medal and a win. Vondrass stepped in and did a nice job. Good enough.
Beha had 3 goals and 2 assists in the game.
Quiet 5-pointer.
Yeah. And we'll get the presentation of the Player of the Game awards, the officials' medals, and then the bronze medals to Finland, or to Czechia rather.
Change the script.
Something else. How do you bounce back from a difficult loss in the semis? Well, it looked like the Finns had it their way. And the Czechs are taking their time, making their way to the blue line for the presentations.
Well, if they know they're supposed to go there, they would if they knew. They will go home happy with a bronze. Elated.
14 of them play in North America, 12 in the CHL, 1 in the NCAA, and 1 in the American League. That's Kulik. And there is Patrick Acosta, his first year behind the bench. It was eventful. They open with a one-sided 6-2 loss to Slovakia. But maybe the turning point for them was a loss against the United States. Took them to a shootout, and that seemed to give them confidence. And they're still not lined up.
I honestly don't think they know they're supposed to. Someone's got to let them know.
And the Finns have to patiently wait.
Yeah, it's not personal. It feels that way.
Can we have Team Czechia please line up for the blue line? Thank you.
Finally getting together here.
There you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the player of the game is presented by ICA with a contribution of 5,000 Swedish crowns to IIHF Cancer. And the player of the game in Team Finland, number 33, Jan.05.
And good in this game, good all tournament long. Standout performance.
And the player of the game, Team Czechia, number 25, Jiří Kulic.
Well, no doubt about that. Huh? The big goals and the power play, the captain strikes for them.
And I think there was a question whether he'd finish this game after taking a knee-on-knee bump.
The prizes will be presented by Magnus Mårtensson, the Deputy General Secretary of the tournament, and Lisa Karlgren, a member of the local organization committee.
Mondrash, who had a good seat for the entire tournament until midway through the first period of the bronze medal game.
5 goals in the last
ladies and gentlemen,
5:19 of the third period.
Commemorative to the game officials. So the game officials, the referees, please come forward.
So now the officials will be recognized.
trophy
Referees
will
Tobias
be,
Bjork of Sweden,
awarded by
Troy Murray of
Bronze
Canada,
Line
Andreas Nyquist of Sweden,
IIHF Council member.
and Lucas Legar of Czechia. It's an honor to be picked to work the last day. And of course, the Swedish officials ineligible to work tonight. Right. That may not always be the case. There's a move afoot to try to change that. If you had a Swedish and American official available for tonight, if they were ranked high enough, they might have been allowed to work the game.
If I trust my refs, make a Swedish and whoever, you know what I mean? If they're the best guys, let them be the best guys. But the refs are evaluated like the players.
Yeah.
The top guys get to work at the end of the tournament. Now the bronze medal, which will feel like gold for Czechia.
The 2024 IIHF World Junior Championship bronze medal goes to Team Czechia.
And delighted to hand out those medals will be Jiří Kulic. And this is a great change that's happening. It started during COVID. And I thought Kulic was going to hand them out. That's been happening in the past. The captains handed them out, but this will be Franz Reibel. And in the background, former Czech international goalie Peter Briza, who, among other things, is the IIHF Senior Vice President, and also the chairman of the organizing committee in Prague for the upcoming World Championship.
And a nice gesture by Czech players going down the line with Finland, shaking hands with all their staff as well after receiving their medals.
Franz Reibel was a great German international player. That's tough for the Finns. Ooh. You know, we were talking the first period about how difficult it was for Reibel to sit on the bench after being pulled back-to-back goals. 3 hours later, he's getting a bronze medal.
And the good news, he'll be able to, a lot easier to wipe away the bad memories and replace with the great ones when you look at that medal now.
7 of these Czechs can return, plus Adam Jiricek, who was hurt in their first game.
Their return to prominence in this tournament is a welcome addition to the landscape.
They've been international royalty for a long time. The first Olympic gold medalist in a tournament involving NHL players.
Let's go, Jenny!
It'll be a boisterous group.
Going to Prague or wherever they go tonight. A lot of them are flying to North America.
Yeah.
Patrick Augusta gets that gold medal from his old teammate Peter Briza. Robert Reichel. Finns looked like they had it home and cooled out. The score was 5-3 with 7 to go in the third period. It was 5-2 with a minute to go in the second.
And there was nothing going on. There was nothing in the game that would lead you to believe that Czechia had an offensive explosion in them. Written all over the faces of everyone with Finland, the disappointment. Almost looking a bit of state of shock.
4 goals in 50 seconds.
A couple empty netters, but 4 goals in under a minute. I don't care if anybody's in the net. That's hard to do.
So Kulik and the other 4 who played in 3 of these tournaments leave with a bronze and a silver. And now he'll go forward and accept the third place trophy.
I want to say, in the spirit of sportsmanship, a good handshake with the opponents from Team Finland here, who deserves, of course, a lot of appreciation for their performances in this tournament as well. But now we would like the team captain of Team Czechia to accept the award, the third place award from Mr. Franz Reindl, IIHF council member. And of course, well deserved. Ladies and gentlemen, Team Czechia!
And now one more piece of business. The Czech national anthem.
Now, please remove your hats and rise for the national anthem of Czechia.
James Duthie back with you. What a game. Last time
And how about that? In incredible fashion, the Czechs win the bronze medal and come from behind fashion as well. 8-5, the final score, giving them consecutive World Junior medals for the first time since double gold in 2000 and 2001. Coming up on NHL Network, On the Fly is next, followed by the World Junior Classic gold medal game between the United States and Sweden at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. After that, we'll break it all down on NHL Now, followed by NHL Tonight. Here's Erica Walker with all the action in the NHL last night.